I have another son who plays where I don't say anything to my sons really. My sons, they don't need me yelling at them.
The following is a Learfield presentation of the Blue Devils Sports Network. Live from GRUB Durham.
Jackson on the right. Around a Fournier screen, going to fire right wing three. Give it to her!
This is the Duke Women's Basketball Radio Show.
Goes to work, spins up a shot, count it! And a chance for three! Strong take by Donovan.
Our coverage of Duke Women's Basketball is brought to you by Coca-Cola. Crisp, refreshing, and irresistibly tasty. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide. Alongside head coach Carol Lawson, here's the voice of Duke Women's Basketball, Chris Edwards.
Welcome to GRUB and our latest Carol Lawson show of the season. It is so great to have you with us. I'm Chris Edwards. Great to be back here at GRUB with all of our great fans. Great to have you with us on the Blue Devil Sports Network as well. And we've got Coach Tia Jackson hitting leadoff tonight. Coach Lawson on the way. She'll be here in a little bit, but give it up for Coach Tia, the opening act tonight.
Yeah, tough one to start with. I know I'm maybe a slight disappointment, but
no, never,
really happy
never.
to be here with you guys. So thank you.
Let's kind of start big picture for you. I'm curious. You've been now at Duke a couple different times. What makes Duke such a special place?
Oh boy, so many things. I think what resonates the most, the prestige of our institution, the quality of talent and people that we continue to go after then that we still do now. I've worked for two fearless leaders since I've my first time at Duke and now, and to be able to sell that in conjunction with Duke and the athletics, the academics, just kind of second to none.
Yeah. You had a little bit of a spell where you were not at Duke, now you're back at Duke. What's changed about Duke or Durham in the time that you were here and now that you're back?
Number one, downtown.
I know.
Dude, I don't even recognize it. I go through there every now and again, and I'm like, all these buildings were boarded up, or there was nothing. Now I can't stay away.
It's great, isn't it?
Yes, indeed.
Like GRUB right here. It's awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this wasn't here the last time you were here.
It was not, and this is a hard one to pass to get downtown. So I tend to stop by and show love as often as I can.
When did you first fall in love with basketball, Tia?
Oh, boy. As a player, I would say I fell in love when I realized I was actually halfway good. I was in 9th grade when I first started playing competitive basketball. And I had a phenomenal high school coach, Barbara McCool, God rest her soul now. But she was very similar to, I alluded to fearless leaders here at Duke, very similar to my college coach, Vivian Stringer. Just a strong presence, a great demand about her, a great command about her, and just a well-balanced teacher in life lessons and basketball lessons. And so when I started to realize, one, that I could take a sport like basketball that I ended up being pretty good at, get my education paid for, play for someone like Vivian Stringer. Now I get to turn around and return the favor. It's just been a true blessing. And so I'd say, early in my high school career, my first start to playing was pretty evident right out the gate. Tell
me about playing for Coach Stringer. Maybe a favorite story or a favorite memory of your time with her that you can share on the air.
Get on the line. No, I'm kidding. Lots of running, but no, that's not the thing that stands out the most. Her life lessons. I mentioned that about my high school coach. Coach Stringer is always about kind of growing not just the sport but young women. It's one of the reasons I got into coaching myself. I had great examples in front of me, her being probably at the top of that list. And, to be able to return that favor and not just pay it forward when I first started, but to now, continue to pay it forward. I'm truly grateful to be able to stand in these shoes and touch the lives of our players.
Yeah, let me ask you about that, because you had all these great leaders that you played for, your high school coach, Coach Stringer, et cetera. When did you know? Was there an aha moment? You're like, hey, when I'm done playing, I want to give back to the game that's given me so much.
God, it's kind of a horrible way to kind of fall into coaching, but it was my way. I got hurt. And so you're like, okay, my best way to really impact the game and to show the way to do it, or the best way that I could show people, was how I did it. So my effort, my work ethic, my attention to detail, and then I get sidelined. And I'm like, yeah, what do I have now? And Coach Stringer taught me in the best way how to use my voice. And so I learned how to lead in that space, to still be able to give to our our team at that time. I was a veteran player at that point, had been at Iowa a couple years, and so there was a class of 7 freshmen kind of, what do you do? How do you help us? And so I had to learn pretty quickly to use my voice and to lead that way, and I'm still doing it.
It's a good thing, isn't it?
Absolutely.
But to be involved in a game that you love for so long, I mean, I know you've got great perspective on this too, but just to be able to give back to a game, I think about this a lot. Being able to give back to the game that's given you so much is just so rewarding.
It is. I wake up every day, I feel like I steal from everyone because I get paid to do what I absolutely love. I get to impact lives every single day. And it is not just basketball. It is in life. It is in their journey through, if it's their time at Duke, if it's after Duke. I have a wonderful, wonderful opportunity to do something I truly, truly love. I get up every morning. I'm inspired. It helps when you have the group of young ladies that we have and that we have had in the past few years here. They are remarkable, remarkable women.
Playing in the WNBA, the inaugural season of the WNBA.
Oh, you're dating me,
I'm
Chris.
not trying to, Coach. What do you remember just about those early days of the W, and now from your perspective, just to see it grow? How rewarding is that?
These legs work back then. No, I think, first of all, where we are now with the league, with the W, is just incredible. To be able to say I was a part of the start of it, cliche as it might be, one of the pioneers in the sport at that time and in the W, it was just, oh my goodness, like to see it now, like I itch enough during the summer that I get out to WNBA camps and I get out to games and, you just see it change. You see the crowds that are now filling most arenas now. We've got the expansion of the league. It's going to continue to expand, and it's just, man, what a remarkable turnaround. And I'm happy to say that I spent a small stint in that space.
That's great. When you go on the recruiting trail now to talk about Duke and talk to prospective student athletes, what are the things that resonate with you about what not only kids are saying about Duke, but what you're looking for in student athletes to come to this place?
Yeah, so when we first got here, one of the things that we had to what we really had to do was just make Duke relevant in the recruiting space. And, Kara was a easy sell for me. I mean, I grew up thinking I could recruit her at one point, but I'm like, yeah, she's too big for anything I could ever be a part of at that time. And obviously watching her play, she's from the DMV, I'm from the Eastern Shore of Maryland, so I've known who she's been for a while, watching her stint at Tennessee, and then of course, her time with being an analyst and in color and things like that. So being able to sell her, I had great experience with Coach Gail Gestencourse back in the day and selling someone that's just an icon and pivotal in the sport, very relevant in the sport. I was able to do that. It was easy for me. I felt like Duke, like I said, I love to say it sells itself. Sometimes we take that for granted. We think everyone knows Duke. So one of the things we had to do was just make sure that we combine those two in similar spaces. And, you combining Coach Lawson with a Duke degree and, so many doors open up for you. And so when we're out on the recruiting trail, just being able to remind kids of who our leader is, to remind people of what a Duke degree means. If we get to the point where we're feeling like we're having to sell that over and over and over again, it's probably not the kid for us.
Yeah.
Most people, especially coming from who have great influences with their parents or the people that are in their lives influencing them with their guardians, they tend to understand it. And once we get there, they're selling it for us.
Sure.
Our players now, their families sell it for us. So if we continue on this trajectory that we're on, we've got people that are great advocates for us, and they go out and they speak for us.
Let me ask you about this current team. How much fun is this group just to be around on a day-to-day basis?
Oh, my gosh. You see all the gray? No, they are a fun bunch. It's so weird when we've had new kids come into our space. They go, you guys hug every day? I'm like, yeah, we kind of do. Like, we love each other. We care about each other. We start the moment we walk into our practices or in our practice facility or Cameron, we embrace one another. Every kid goes to every coach goes to every kid, and it's what we do. And so that is the best part about what we do. You can see, you feel the love when recruits or visitors come into that space, they see that. And then we work our tails off in the process. So these young ladies are well bought in. And they work extremely hard for our program, and they're great leaders of it.
Well, what do you make of where this team is at from a defensive standpoint? You're a big part of the defense and the scheme there. Where's this team on that end of the floor?
How many points we give up?
Last night, notwithstanding.
Okay, that's the outlier. Okay, great.
Last night, notwithstanding.
So, not counting yesterday, defensively, I'm all jokes aside, we're pretty solid.
Yeah.
We tend to make things pretty difficult for teams. That is our goal every time we face an opponent, is to not give them the thing they want the most. Where if we face teams that are high on ball screen usage, we're going to find a way to make that a miserable opportunity for them every time they try to run it, or a tough moment for them. If it's a team that likes to kind of punch it inside and go into a big, we're going to try to make that as miserable for them as possible. So we use the term of disrupting other teams as much as we can. We're small. We don't have players that like an Ari that kind of gives us some size. Mm-hmm. We don't have Riley, who again another wing player who gives us size. So we are a smaller team when you look. I mean, obviously you watched us against Oklahoma, you watched us against K-State. We look like little teeny kids playing against these grown women. So to teach them how to make their lives uncomfortable on the floor has been kind of the enjoyment of what we do, and we seem to be doing all right with it.
All right, two thoughts before I let you go. Where's the next growth step for this team as we go into the final month of the regular season?
Oh, short-term memory. We played last night. We came up short. We had moments in that game where we battled. We want to build on that. We've got another tough one coming up with Clemson, and then again with Miami over the weekend. So, our job is to get them to have short-term memory, turn it around, and take it out on the next one.
Who's the better player in college, you or Karen Lang?
Is Karen here?
No.
Oh, hello.
Okay, just making sure.
Great, yeah.
Great to see you. Thanks for doing this.
Of course, my pleasure.
Tia Jackson joining us. We'll be joined by the head coach of the Blue Devils, Kara Lawson, after this on the Blue Devils Sports Network from Learfield.
Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp. Refreshing. And ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Gonna hoist up a three. How about another dagger?
This is Duke head women's basketball coach Kara Lawson. When it comes to keeping our team healthy, we turn to the team at Duke Sports Medicine. They offer full-service sports medicine care at locations throughout the Triangle, where you can see the same experts used by Duke Athletics. Make an appointment or learn more at dukehealth.org/sportsmedicine. Go Duke.
The crowd will rise as one, and what a statement, and what a win.
Whether you're in the market for a new boat or just need service or accessories for an existing boat, turn to Overbee Marine. Now with 2 locations in Kittrell and Lake Gaston, Overbee Marine offers the highest quality of marine products and services, including the latest from Sea Ray, Centurion, Avalon, Bennington, as well as Cobalt boats. Overbee Marine also offers the largest selection of parts in the region, along with full-service facilities at their 2 locations. Stop by or give them a call at 252-586-3593 or online at overbeemarine.com. Overbee Marine. Don't let adventure pass you by.
'Tis the season for family and friends. 'Tis the season for gifting. And 'tis the season for making holiday dreams come true. 'Tis the season for using the old-timey contraction "tis." And 'tis the time of year for holiday scratch-offs. With over $85 million in total prizes, 'tis the best gift of all.
'Tis the season to gift endless joy with holiday scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.06 to 9.95. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
We're back at GRUB. Thanks for joining us tonight on the Blue Devils Sports Network from Learfield, and happy to have the head coach of the Blue Devils, Kara Lawson, with us. Hey, Coach.
Hey.
How you doing?
But better.
Yeah. A tough one last night in Raleigh. Kind of looking at that game, and we'll talk a lot about it. But from a 30,000-foot overview, just what did you make of the game last night overall?
Yeah, I think, they got off to such a quick start and, really got up double digits there in that first quarter. And I was just proud of the way we bounced back in that second quarter and took the lead and went into halftime with the lead, started the fourth quarter, had the lead. And, then it was a possession game down the stretch. And, got to credit them. They executed better than we did down the stretch and were able to get the win. But, you play those high caliber teams, and we have quite a few of them in the ACC, and certainly you play them on the road. It stretches you and tests you, man, just differently than other games. And we need to be exposed. We need to see where we can improve. And certainly you like to be exposed and still be able to get the result you want. But at the same time, like, we're building toward March. And that's the goal of this. The goal is to keep growing and to keep building and, hope to be able to turn that result in our favor, come the tournament.
You've been in a lot of these time and score games, or these one-score, one-possession games. First one maybe in a little while. How important is it to get one of those games in the month of February heading into the stretch run of the season?
Yeah, I anticipate we're going to have a lot of them
in
this month. We're just playing good teams, and, it's good for our players to see. It's good for us to watch film after and talk about situations and, just focus on what we need to do. And it's good for them to feel that type of game pressure. That's different than just the pressure of performing in a big game. Like, it's different when it's fourth quarter and you need to score and you need to stop. And it also gives you information about your own players, as like who can execute in those situations, who can get stops in those situations. So, all of that is, and we had, not quite as tight, but it was, down the stretch, obviously against Georgia Tech, we had that. Against Virginia, we had that. We've already had games. Obviously, North Carolina, we had that. We've already had 4 or 5 games in league play where that was the case.
Been in those tough environments. Do you like the way your team responds in those environments like last night?
Yeah, they're tough. Like, that's why you play the non-conference environments that we did. Like, we've seen all the environments, right? The environment's not going to spook us. It's a matter of, can we, within that environment, can we focus and be where we're supposed to be and do what we're supposed to be doing. So I think that's why you play the non-conference schedule that we did, so that there aren't any surprises, and there haven't been any surprises. We've got great road environments in the ACC, and then we have a lot of veterans too, so at least players that have been through the league one time. So that wasn't their first time, over there.
I was kind of thinking about the league as a whole. There's so many good teams in the ACC, top to bottom. It seems like everybody in the league that makes the postseason is going to be battle tested. Like, how nice is it to have these battles, to know when you get into the postseason you're not going to be surprised by anything?
Yeah, I think you want to know that you're not going to be surprised, but more than anything, well, honestly, you're always surprised.
Sure.
Like, there's always, a new matchup or a new team, or they haven't played, but you want to kind of have your players have enough reps at it, is really what it is. You want enough close game reps that you feel like you have an understanding of who you are and what you want to do in those situations.
All right, take a break. We'll come back to GRUB and have more with Coach after this on the Blue Devil Sports Network from Learfield.
Point taken, Lexi. We'll grab a ride.
If you drink, don't drive. Decide to ride. Brought to you in partnership by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and Uber.
For any surface and every season, Continental Tire is the smart choice in tires. From ultra-high performance tires like the Extreme Contact Sport 02 to passenger touring tires to all-terrain light truck tires like the Terrain Content AT, Continental has a tire that gives you confidence no matter the road conditions. Whether you're looking for summer, all-season, or winter tires, Continental Tire has something to fit your needs. Visit ContinentalTire.com to find your ideal tire. Continental Tire, a proud partner of the Duke Blue Devils.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup as the top college athletic programs for the 2024-25 college athletic season? You can follow the standings of your favorite team or alma mater at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2025 to the winning institutions in all college sports divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
Are you ready to show your Duke pride wherever you go? Visit shop.duke.edu, your one-stop online store for all things Duke. From the latest apparel to must-have accessories, Duke University Stores has it all. Whether you're a student, alumni, or fan, shop.duke.edu has something for everyone. Get your hands on exclusive Duke gear today. Shop conveniently online at shop.duke.edu, where real Duke fans shop.
Back at GRUB with the head coach of the Blue Devils, Kara Lawson. Great to have you with us tonight. If you got a question for Coach and you're in our audience, drop it by for us up here. We'll get to some of those coming up in just a couple minutes. I want to talk about learning lessons because I feel like you can learn something through every game, win or lose. As a player, how do you take those little nuggets from each game and apply them next time you get a chance to go out and play?
Well, the first thing that we do is we, break down the film, watch the film, and find, the plays that we feel like are going to be the most instructive. We don't watch the whole game. The team doesn't watch the whole game. The players don't watch the whole game. I mean, they could on their own.
Sure.
But I'm saying when we're using film as a teaching tool, they're not sitting there for 2 hours watching the whole game. So we have the clips organized. And they could be organized by any number of category. They could be organized by, something as simple as offensive or defensive clips. But within offense and defense, there are other categories. It could be a transition offense, could be half-court offense, could be ball screen actions. It could be certain plays, like certain execution, and so it might be organized by play call. And the reverse is true on the defensive side. You could have it organized by a transition defense, by press. We obviously full court pressure. You could have it organized by half court defensive execution, ball screens, off ball screens, just anything that you feel like that you want them to focus on. And the organization of that allows them to see a few things in a row of a similar category, and then hopefully seeing that the repetition of seeing the film allows them to get better. Now, who knows if I don't know if I'm doing it the right way or not. Tia says I'm doing okay, so I guess I'm doing okay.
Good.
Okay, I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
So I don't think you can focus on 100 things at one time and be really do is after the game last night say, we got to get better at 72 things, guys. How are you going to do that? So as a staff, we try to narrow down, what is it that we really need to improve on? And then let's spend the adequate amount of time necessary to improve in those things. And then the next game, we may still be in those categories because it's not like you just say, whoop, improve, right? Takes time. Or something else might have come up that's an even greater threat that we say, okay, we've got to shift priorities here for a little bit because this is a more important kind of leak, so to speak. And that's how we do it. Like I said, I don't know if that's right or wrong, but that's how we do it with the players. And you apply as you start to install your next game plan for your next opponent, which we're in the middle of installation now. That's where I came from.
Yeah.
That's why I was late. I had a pass.
You did.
Yeah, I had an excuse.
You did. It was excused, yeah, for sure.
And so that's what we do, the installation, and then they're preparing now for the next team and the next scheme. And so a lot of times you'll try to find some blended lessons, meaning like, are there themes of things we did not as great against NC State that will need to do great against Clemson? So now it kind of checks two boxes. We can take this lesson that we were, substandard in this, and we will need to be standard in this on Thursday, or it'll hurt us. And that's probably more detailed than you wanted.
No, it's great.
That's how we choose the film and things like that.
You mentioned Tia, who was on the show. We joked kind of the opening act for you tonight.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, so that was the joke that Tia and I had. Can you speak to Tia and just how valuable she is to you and to the program as a whole?
Well, Tia's the only coach that has been with me since I started here. And I think most of you know that. She's the only coach crazy enough to come with me and the only coach crazy enough to stay here for 5 years. And thank God that she has. And I tell her this, and I think sometimes she thinks I'm just saying nice things, but I'm not really saying a lot of nice things to people in life. So, but this is true. I have learned more about coaching from Tia than any coach I've worked with. And I say this a lot. Like the foundation of our program is from Coach Summit.
And I've talked about that a lot, how we run it. I learned a lot about coaching from Coach Summit. As we know, Coach Summit's no longer with us. And so getting here as a first-time head coach in college, well, first-time head coach in general, in 5-on-5 at least, in college, I had an idea of what I wanted to do. I knew a lot of what I wanted to do, but I didn't understand college. I'd been in the professional realm. So there are differences. It wasn't that I was dumb or I was stupid. It was just that I didn't know certain things. So it was very important that I hired someone that had experience. And I loved the fact that she had already been at Duke. So she knew not only the community, but she had been at Duke in the heyday. Mm-hmm. She knew what it could be. You know, she had helped build it to what it was. And so all of that has been really valuable for me in learning. And then the thing about Coach Tia that makes her different than most people is that she will tell you about yourself. And she'll tell you when you're wrong. And I can't tell you how valuable that is when you're a head coach, to have someone tell you when you're wrong. Because a lot of times in this position, everyone wants to tell you that you're right, or they want to agree with you because they think that's their role, right? You're the boss. So they don't want to disagree with you. And she's the opposite. She rarely agrees with me. Okay, rarely. This is true. I'm not joking. Rarely. I'm rarely doing. She's agreeing with me now, right? That she disagrees with me. That's the first agreement of the day. It's 6:20. Okay, that's been the first agreement of the day. She rarely agrees with me. She tells me I'm wrong most of the time, and she tells me I'm wrong while it's happening, usually, which is great too. And then she tells you to your face. Oh, I love that. I mean, think about how many people in your life, when you do something wrong, like to tell you after the fact that you did something wrong, and then they like to tell other people that you did something wrong and not you. I mean, seriously, right? So that, to me, is the highest form of professionalism, of respect, and of loyalty, right? When you disagree with something or someone, how someone did something, all that, and it's not, hey, I'm going to undermine them, or I'm going to talk about them, or I'm going to do all that. It's like, hey, I didn't agree with that. I think, I don't agree with that. I think we should da-da-da-da-da-da. Sometimes I agree, sometimes I don't. But that is such a key characteristic in a professional relationship, and that's true of our whole staff. But she sets the tone for them, and then she has been here. So she's not only educated me how to coach, she educated all the assistant coaches as they came in, and it was their first year at Duke to understand, like, hey, this is how we do things. This is how it flows. Coach is crazy. If you just let people know you're crazy ahead of time, they're not surprised. That's a real important quality. So if you can find someone that will let them know you're crazy, then that's helpful. And I think that's just, I know I've gone on long, but I can't tell you how critical that has been to the success. And so, it's been really one of the main reasons that we've been able to build this back to what it is. And she'll continue to be one of the main reasons we're going to be able to take it to where it's going, because we're not done yet.
No. Great stuff. We'll take a break. We'll come back to GRUB and have more with Coach after this from Learfield.
Or the foam finger poking you in the face? Well, head to the concession stand, grab a Lindy's Italian Ice, and take a 6-ounce vacation. A 6-ounce cup of lemon Italian Ice will make you feel like you're swaying in a hammock, and the only thing in your face is a cool, salty breeze. That ought to have you refreshed. Now get your head back in the game and start belting out blue and white with the youthful exuberance of the freshman behind you. Yes, the same one that keeps spilling his drink down your back. Lindy's Italian Ice. Have an ice day.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp. Refreshing. And ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Oh, what a great camping trip for the Williams family. It was epic, Zach. And this week's MVP was their 2024 Ford Bronco SUV, Matt. Absolutely. It hauled everything and everyone to this great spot by the lake. And get them back in time for the big game. Yeah, let's go! Let's go. With the Ford Bronco or Bronco Sport SUV on your team, it's game on. For the latest offers, go to buyfordnow.com or see your Carolina Ford dealer today.
The passion, the tradition, the rivalries. SiriusXM is your destination for all things college sports, and we've got you covered. On ACC Radio, there is complete coverage of every school in the conference, including live games, coaches' shows, and more. So cheer along on the SiriusXM app and listen to your favorite team anywhere. And now you can get 3 months of SiriusXM free. Subscribe now. See offer details at SiriusXM.com/ACC Sports.
10 years ago, who could have predicted what the internet would bring? Streaming videos, voice assistants, smartphones, smart homes, work from home. But here we are, wondering what the next 10 years will bring. Whatever it brings, Lumos 100% fiber optic internet is ready with incredible speeds and reliability. So you can do more and be more than you ever thought possible on the internet built for the future. Plans start at $50 per month. Learn more at lumosfiber.com/next.
We're back at GRUB with the head coach of the Blue Devils, Carol Lawson. Thanks so much for spending your night with us. There were some positives last night, despite the outcome of the game. And I know you're not into moral victories, but I do want to highlight a couple things, particularly on the glass. Out-rebounded NC State, both overall and on the offensive glass. Have you been pleased overall with the work your team has done on the boards recently?
Yeah, I thought we got ourselves extra opportunities. We talked to our team that it was going to be important to get second chance opportunities. And, that gave us I think we got maybe 15 or 16 more shot attempts than they did. Yep. We just didn't defend them as well as we needed to win the game. We scored enough. 83 points is enough in a game to win. Our defense was just not up to its normal standard. And like I said, I think it's so crazy how result can just change your viewpoint of everything and make you feel like everything was bad, and then if you win, everything's good. And it's never that extreme. It's always in the middle. I'm proud of our team. Sure. I'm proud of where we are. We're 8-2 through 10 games in the ACC. Really close to being 10-0, right? But that's the way it goes sometimes. And they battle, they challenge. We've been in every game. The two that we've lost, we've battled. They've been possession games down to the end. And so, that's how it happens sometimes. And our challenge and our focus is just to keep getting better and to keep growing and not let result impact our energy and our fire to do that. And so Thursday, I hope we see our defense back again. I hope we see that competitiveness, and we had it in spurts last night. And that's what you gotta try and do. You gotta bounce back.
How about Jaden Donovan and the game that she had last night? Had the 10 rebounds, 6 points, 6 assists, only 1 turnover. She just seems like she does so many different things to help the team win.
Yeah, Jaden's one of the most underrated players in the conference when you think about everything that she does for us. She's also one of the best defensive players in the country. And unfortunately, there's not a great way to quantify defense. Mm-hmm. There's not a great metric. Offense, statistical people have figured out a way to quantify offense much better than defense. And they'll tell you that, as I'm not as smart as they are, but they'll say, it's hard to quantify a player's impact defensively. Mm-hmm. And the counting stats for defense don't really measure that. If you get a lot of blocked shots, doesn't mean you're a great defender. It could mean that, but it doesn't always mean that. If you get a lot of steals, it doesn't mean you're a great defender. It could mean that. It just means you're great at that one thing. And Jaden's a really high-level defender in every area when you look at her ability to versatilely guard all positions. She guards 1 through 5 for us. She's our leading rebounder and our leading defensive rebounder. She's good at steals and blocks.
okay? And then she's someone that intellectually can play in any type of scheme. She's very smart, very smart, very smart. So we can Jaden can change how she's guarding things in the middle of the game. And an example of that is like last night, she's guarding different people the whole game. If you watch, like sometimes she's on this player and then sometimes she's on that player because she can guard them all, right? It's just there's only one of her, so we can only move her around.
Sure.
You know, if we have 5 of her, you know, it'd be great. But I think that when she's in attack mode and aggressive, and I think you can see that in her the way she's moving and running and sprinting and attacking and aggressive, I think you can see. And so she was definitely that, and hopefully she'll continue to be that.
We talked earlier this year about being a worker and how the game rewards those workers. Is Jaden one of those workers for your team?
Yeah, I think Jaden has moments where she does work at that high level, and I think last night was one of them. You know, I think that's something that we're working with Jaden to keep improving on, is like, can we get more of those types of games? More like, I think she could get 10 rebounds every game, right? I think she could have 5 or 6 assists every game. You know, I think she could score 10 points every game. Like, I think she can do and impact the game in so many ways. And Jaden's no different than a lot of our players. You're working for the consistency. You're working for them to be able to do that night in and night out. That's the goal. Understanding that some nights might not be their best nights, but can they do it night in and night out? And when she does, it changes our team.
Take another timeout. We'll come back to Grub and have more with Coach after this on the Blue Devil Sports Network from Learfield.
Enjoying the game, but not.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Are you ready to show your Duke pride wherever you go? Visit shop.duke.edu, your one-stop online store for all things Duke. From the latest apparel to must-have accessories, Duke University Stores has it all. Whether you're a student, alumni, or fan, shop.duke.edu has something for everyone. Get your hands on exclusive Duke gear today. Shop conveniently online at shop.duke.edu, where real Duke fans shop.
At Reed's Jewelers, we know that the rules of engagement were made to be broken. So don't settle for the first ring you see in the case. When you put a ring on it, make the moment your own with something that's just as unique as your love. Whether you're going big, keeping it subtle, or finding a happy medium, we're here to help you say I do with a one-of-a-kind design. Because doing things your way is what makes them mean everything. Reed's Jewelers, an official partner of Blue Devil Sports. Visit your local Reed's Jewelers in-store or online at reeds.com to chat with an expert.
I feel happy, Valero Pay Plus app.
I feel happy, it makes savings a snap.
Use it and start saving automatically.
You just save some money, not too shabby.
I feel happy, I'm in and out real fast.
I feel happy, now pit stops are a blast.
Download today and get in on the fun. Valero Pay Plus app, your savings have begun.
We're back at GRUB with the head coach of the Blue Devils, Kara Lawson. Thanks so much for joining us here tonight. Coach, want to stick with some positive notes from last night and just the play of Mare and just how she continues to play at a really high level. 21 points, 5 assists, 3 steals, no turnovers last night. Just another high-level game from T.
Yeah, I think she's played exceptionally well in ACC play. I looked it up this morning, and I could have it not all the way perfect, but I think she's 3-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio in the ACC. And she's shooting the ball, I think, 50% from 3 in ACC play, which now we're 10 games in, so that's 10 out of 18. That's enough of a sample size for that to be a trend. And then she's just impacting the game on both ends for us. In a lot of ways. And, it's great to see. I mean, she's a junior point guard. She's been a starting point guard in this league it's her 3rd year now. And it's what you would hope, that the veteran upperclassmen would be able to just
continue to have consistent performances. And so I definitely think she's stepped it up in January and playing at a high level.
We talked in the pregame about her last night and how you challenged her in the offseason to become better on the defensive end. Are you prouder of her growth on the defensive end, the offensive end, or maybe just overall?
I just love coaching her because she just wants to be coached, you know? Like, she wants to be coached. She wants to be corrected. She wants to be told where she's falling short. And, you know, like, that's so rare. You know, a lot of people, like, they say they want to be coached, but then you coach them and they're like, well, I don't know that I want you to tell me like that. You know, like, they want to, like, coach your coaching. You know, and Mare just, whatever you say to her, you know, she's going to try and do. And there's no like, hey, I got to sell her on this, or I got to get buy-in, or like, there's none of that with her. She's bought in. Like, you say, if you need something, you just tell her what needs to be done, and she's going to try her best to do it. That is amazing, amazing, amazing quality in a young person. In a young person. I mean, if I could clone her, I would, you know, because she just wants to get better, and she's locked. She's so, you know, eye contact's a big thing with me, and it was a big thing with Coach Summit. That's probably why it's a big thing with me. And, man, she is locked in every day on me. Not just me, who's ever talking. Like, if you're sitting in a circle and you're talking, Mare's like, every day. Every day. If she played well, if she didn't play well. You know, because sometimes if maybe we don't play well, or we're mad about something, or we're frustrated about something, this is a human thing. I do this too. I'm grown. You don't want to look at someone, right? You avoid the eye contact. You know, maybe you're frustrated, whatever it is. 2 years, it's never happened with Mare.
Wow.
Boom, right there, every day, locked in. And that's what you want from point guard. I mean, what else would you want? She's going to sit there. She's going to be in the front row. She's going to be right next. We go to the circle. She stands right next to me. Every day. Stands right next to me. Every day. Every day. Looks right. I'm not even looking at her. I can feel her looking at me. She's right there. Every day. For 2 years. You know? Mm-hmm. And so that shows you the focus. That shows you the desire. And so when you're like that every day, like, to me, I always tell you, like, man, the game rewards, like, the true stuff. It does. That's the best part. That's right. Basketball is the best game there is. And the reason it is because it rewards the true and honorable stuff. It rewards the true and honorable. It rewards the good intentioned people. Doesn't reward the bad intentioned people. You go out there trying to, like, get yours, it's not going to reward you. It's not. You go out there trying to do what's best for the team, and you're going to get rewarded. And that's the crazy thing. Mare doesn't go out there trying to score. She doesn't. If it's open, she's going to take it. If not, she's going to make a play. She didn't go out there trying to score. How many did she score?
21.
That's what I'm talking about. That's the game. Mm-hmm. That's basketball. That's what it does. And so she just comes with pure intention every day. And I'm a big believer if you do that, you're going to be rewarded. And she's getting rewarded for that.
Take another break. We'll come back and have more with Coach after this on the Blue Devil Sports Network from Learfield.
This and every season, Continental Tire is the smart choice in tires. From ultra-high performance tires like the Extreme Contact Sport 02 to passenger touring tires to all-terrain light truck tires like the Terrain Content AT, Continental has a tire that gives you confidence no matter the road conditions. Whether you're looking for summer, all-season, or winter tires, Continental Tire has something to fit your needs. Visit ContinentalTire.com to find your ideal tire. Continental Tire, a proud partner of the Duke Blue Devils.
Going to hoist up a three. How about another dagger?
This is Duke head women's basketball coach Kara Lawson. When it comes to keeping our team healthy, we turn to the team at Duke Sports Medicine. They offer full-service sports medicine care at locations throughout the Triangle, where you can see the same experts used by Duke Athletics. Make an appointment or learn more at dukehealth.org/sportsmedicine. Go Duke.
The crowd will rise as one, and what a statement, and what a win.
Think about the last time you moved. Remember how you said you'd never do it alone again? We know moving is tough, but at Two Men and a Truck, we make it easy. No matter the move, big or small, we'll make it a smooth one. We're the movers who care and will prove it with our 96% referral rate and courteous background check movers. We're local and affordable, and we can help at a price that won't make you wish you'd done it on your own. When you're ready, give us a call or find us online for a free estimate at twomenandatruck.com.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup as the top college athletic programs for the 2024-25 college athletics season? You can follow the standings of your favorite team or alma mater at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2025 to the winning institutions in all college sports divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
Back at GRUB with the head coach of the Blue Devils, Kara Lawson. Great to have you with us tonight. We got some audience questions to get to. Coach Barbara says, what do our coaches do to foster confidence in the individual players, particularly when they are suffering from a cold shooting spell?
Well, I think the first thing is, we talk to them a lot about the season is a roller coaster. That's inevitable. You're going to have stretches where you play well. You're going to have stretches where you don't play well. To come into the season and think it's just going to be all good is setting yourself up to get frustrated and setting yourself up to have low confidence, because it's never like that. I think the nature of what they do is there's going to be some ups and downs. And you prepare them psychologically for that, to just by talking about it. And then when they're in those periods where they struggle, and they all have them throughout the course of the season, getting them focusing on the things that we need them to do to impact winning. And so many of us, and we're just conditioned this way, it's how we've been taught as players and taught as sports fans, is, and I'm going to use the last three words of that question, cold shooting streak. Like, so many of us are conditioned to think that if a player's not shooting well, it's a bad game. She's not playing well. Do you know how many things you can do besides shooting to be playing well? So say, no, she's not shooting the ball well. There's a difference, right? You can be playing well and not shooting the ball well. Just because you don't shoot the ball well, it doesn't mean you're not playing well. So talking about that there are so many things out, so many plays and so many categories that you can impact winning for your team that don't involve shooting. Mm-hmm. And of course, we want them all to shoot well all the time. And it's not to say that that's not important to them, or they might not feel badly if they're not shooting well. But if they're feeling badly that they're not shooting well and they're not doing anything else on the court to help us, well, now that's a problem. Right? That's a problem. So what so often happens in life is, if we don't focus on the thing that we're struggling with and we focus on other things, magically the thing that we were struggling with starts to improve. Isn't that crazy how that works? Mm-hmm. But when you get so locked in and focused on the thing, I'm struggling with this, I'm struggling with this, I'm struggling with this, I'm struggling with this, you get so tight, you're struggling with that. We try to redirect focus in those instances and say, do these things consistently that you can do to the team. Keep making the right decisions on the offensive end and keep taking good shots. And we have trust and belief in them that if they take good shots, that they'll make the ones that they need to make.
Bonnie, who's in our audience tonight, what's the best book you've ever read and why?
Power of One, Bryce Courtenay. It's a book about, it's fiction. It's a book about a young boxer in South Africa. Yeah, it's a good one. Okay. You should read it. There was a movie made about it, but the movie's not anywhere as good as the book. I mean, that's the case most of the time, right? Always, yeah. You don't get as many details, and you don't get to feel like you connect with the character as well, or I don't in a movie. Unless it's like, no, I don't really ever connect with characters as well in movies as I do in books. So yeah, that's my favorite book.
What's the last book you read?
It was like no. So I was like this nutrition book, because I don't want to really say all that, but yeah, like I'm trying to get in shape, Chris. All right, so that's all I'm saying. I can't say why, and I can't say
sure, yeah.
I can't disclose publicly everything that's happening.
No,
but
right,
there's some things happening over here.
Yeah, okay.
So it was a nutrition book.
Okay.
Is what it was.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, I'm getting in shape. I'm just saying.
I love it.
Yep.
Calvin from Durham asked a question. Are the Lakers going to win the championship this year with Luka?
No. 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 No, they are not.
Okay.
No.
Calvin's pretty confident.
Yeah. They are not. The defending champions, Boston Celtics. Thank you.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Little back and forth there, I think, with you and Calvin, right?
Oh, it's really back. I mean, there's not really a fourth happening in LA. It's really just the Celtics, but yeah.
Back to basketball with your team for a second. Finished up this last 3-game road trip, 2-1, the trip to Dallas and Atlanta, and then the Raleigh. Pleased with the way the team is performing and starting to win on the road last night, notwithstanding?
Yeah, I think we're just growing and improving, and that's the goal at this time of year. And we're seeing there's so many great things about playing all these top teams and getting tested because, we're having different schemes and we're having to make in-game adjustments. And, there's just a lot that's happening. And so this is a period of extreme growth for our individual players and for our team. And it's just fun. This is the fun part of the season, I think. I mean, games Thursday, Sunday, playing for something is nothing better. And great environments. Mm-hmm. We've been in some great environments this year. You've been with us, obviously all year. Man, we've been in some great environments on the road. It's been fun. And seeing a lot of Duke Blue on the road this year, which has been awesome. And, hopefully that continues.
The Road Devils have been great.
They've been great.
Yeah, been really good.
Yep.
As good as it's been to see the growth on the road, how nice is it to have 5 of the last 8 at home in Cameron?
Yeah, I mean, listen, the home court advantage, the ability for this community as we grow through January and February to build and to continue to grow in their support of us, it means a lot. It gives you that extra spurt that you need, that extra energy that you need when we get into Cameron. We play with just great effort. And our players love playing there and feel like it's, we're a team that's tough to beat at home. And I think every team feels that because it's your home court. And we want to be that. Mm-hmm. That's a goal of ours. We want to be a team that's tough to beat at home.
I do want to ask about this 3-game week for your team. Last night, Thursday, Sunday. How do you prepare, coming off that emotional game last night, to get ready for a good Clemson team on Thursday?
Yeah, I think we just, like I said, we started our install today, and that was more of mental reps. And tomorrow we'll get out there physically and then Thursday, to shoot around and do it. And so it follows a similar pattern. It's just one less live day. Mm-hmm. It's more of a mental day than a physical day is kind of how we treat it. And then the rest of the week follows its normal pattern.
Okay, we'll take one more break. We'll come back and wrap things up with Coach after this on the Blue Devil Sports Network from Learfield.
For a new boat or just need service or accessories for an existing boat, turn to Overby Marine. Now with 2 locations in Kittrell and Lake Gaston, Overby Marine offers the highest quality of marine products and services, including the latest from Sea Ray, Centurion, Avalon, Bennington, as well as Cobalt boats. Overby Marine also offers the largest selection of parts in the region, along with full-service facilities at their 2 locations. Stop by or give them a call at 252-586-3593 or online at overbymarine.com. Overby Marine. Don't let adventure pass you by.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
I feel happy, Valero Pay Plus app.
I feel happy, it makes savings a snap.
Use it and start saving automatically.
You just save some money, not too shabby.
I feel happy, I'm in and out real fast.
I feel happy, now pit stops are a blast.
Download today and get in on the fun. Valero Pay Plus app, your savings have begun.
Oh, what a great camping trip for the Williams family. It was epic, Zach. And this week's MVP was their 2024 Ford Bronco SUV, Matt. Absolutely. It hauled everything and everyone to this great spot by the lake. And get them back in time for the big game. Yeah, let's go! Let's go. With the Ford Bronco or Bronco Sport SUV on your team, it's game on. For the latest offers, go to buyfordnow.com or see your Carolina Ford dealer today.
10 years ago, who could have predicted what the internet would bring? Streaming videos, voice assistants, smartphones, smart homes, work from home. But here we are, wondering what the next 10 years will bring. Whatever it brings, Lumos 100% fiber optic internet is ready with incredible speeds and reliability. So you can do more and be more than you ever thought possible on the internet built for the future. Plans start at $50 per month. Learn more at lumosfiber.com/next.
We're back at GRUB with the head coach of the Blue Devils, Carol Lawson. Voice is starting to go a little bit. Great to have you with us tonight as we wrap things up. Coach, I just want to ask, because I'm curious, when you were playing, what was like the go-to song on your headphones to get you ready for the game?
Oh, Kenny Chesney.
Okay.
Like
one Kenny Chesney song or like an album or?
I like a lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like Kenny Chesney. So that's probably what I would listen to most. But I didn't listen to music before games.
Really?
No.
Okay. I know some people do.
No, there's nothing wrong with people that do. Me in particular, I didn't. But I would maybe listen to it in the car on the way to the game or. Yeah.
Okay. What was your
do you like Kenny Chesney?
I do like Kenny Chesney a lot. Big fan.
You got some points tonight.
Big fan. Huge fan. Yeah.
Yeah. You're a huge fan.
Huge fan.
Wow.
Huge fan. What was your pregame routine like once you got to the arena to get ready? Did it change from playing in college to playing in the W?
It changed in the WNBA. I mean, rookie year, I just I didn't do whatever, but like I was not as, focused and locked in. And then once I got, around more veterans and started to observe what they were doing and all that, you kind of pick pieces from different people's routines. So my main routine was, I took a lot of showers on game day, many showers, 4 or 5 showers in my game day, and then. You put on your clothes a certain way. Mm-hmm. Certainly, there's an order, but I think people do that in the morning.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a weird sports thing. I think usually you put your clothes on in a certain order, or I did. Drink certain things, eat certain things. I drank certain things and ate certain things, but that's so that my body was used to what I was playing on, and then. That was it. But definitely had routines.
Sure.
Yeah, shooting routine, same shooting routine, number of shots that you take or number of makes that you have. Yeah, all of those things.
You have anything left on your sports bucket list? Like
well, win a national championship.
Well, yeah.
Sports bucket list, like as a fan?
Yeah, as a fan.
Oh, as a fan. Okay. Yes. I want to go to all the things.
Mm-hmm.
So, all the things. What are all the things? Like, I want to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. When the Commanders are playing.
I hope so, but usually it gives games on Super Bowl.
That's yeah.
We play on the Super Bowl Sunday usually.
We do.
I like to go to all like the top events in all the sports. I would like to go to at least one time to experience. I enjoy all sports. I'm not as knowledgeable about any other sport than basketball, but I would like to go to like a World Cup in soccer. Mm-hmm. I would like to go to watch golf, one of the majors in golf.
It's the best.
Or
it's great.
Tennis and I've lucky been to the Olympics, so that would have been one like earlier in my life on the bucket list. I have been to the World Series. Mm-hmm. I watched my team play in the World Series.
It's pretty special.
Which is great.
Yep.
And then so all of those things. I was scheduled to go to Stanley Cup final with my team in the Stanley Cup final, Game 7,
mm-hmm.
and we won in 6.
Mm.
It was like the greatest thing, and it was hard because I wasn't rooting them to lose Game 6.
Yeah.
Because you want your team to win the cup. How often do you get your team to win the cup?
Right.
So just those types of things So a lot of those I'll try and get to.
Sure.
And I would do other things too. I would do, car racing or horse racing or, any of those big events. I think it's cool to experience.
Sure.
And enjoy with people. So hopefully I'll make it there. I did go to a Premier League game.
Yeah.
I went to a Women's Premier League game. Chelsea versus Manchester United at Wembley.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was great. So I like to do those things.
We got about a minute left. Give me a couple keys to be successful against Clemson and Miami this week.
Yeah, I mean, for us, we got to get back to our defense, and we didn't play up to our standard last night, and so we've got to snap back into and listen, we played 10 games in league play, and 9 out of the 10 we played some pretty good defense. Yep. Okay, that's a good rate, but we've got to get back to that, being disruptive, getting people locked down in the half court. So that's a point of emphasis for us. Offensively, I like the way we're moving the ball. I like the way we're sharing the ball. I like all the different weapons that we have. I like everybody that's involved in the offense, and different players can score 20 points on different nights. I mean, you look at our team this year, you probably know this stat better than me, but how many players have scored over 20 for us? 7? 8?
7 or 8, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's great. And so I like the balance that we have and the versatility that we have. And so hopefully we can have, a couple more 20-point scorers on Thursday. We'll see.
Let's have a good week. I'll see you Thursday night.
Thank you, Chris.
That's the head coach of the Blue Devils, Kara Lawson. Thanks for joining us tonight from GRUB on the Blue Devil Sports Network from Learfield.
Live from GRUB Durham, you've been listening to the Duke Women's Basketball Radio Show. Our coverage of Duke Women's Basketball has been brought to you by Coca-Cola. Crisp, refreshing, and irresistibly tasty. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation of the Blue Devil Sports Network.